Welcome to HBO Lax. This is Lizzy Pace.
And this is Katherine Dudas.
We are the two foremost TV, film, love,
apocalypse,
menstruation, pop culture, Pokemon Go experts in the world. Today we are recapping episode 7 of The Last of Us, season 1, titled Left Behind.
Oof. Oof, Lizzy.
This episode reminded me of Final Destination. Did you ever see those movies?
No, but I know the premise. I know it's just a lot of people. Yeah, I know the premise.
Oh, I love them. They're great. But you're basically just watching, like, trying to figure out what's going to kill someone.
Oh my God.
The whole
That's
time.
exactly what
like
this
for
was,
a lot
Lizzy.
of. It's a series of those.
Oh my God.
And this was, you know it's coming. You're like, she's either going to abandon her or die.
That's exact. Yeah, the
time.
anticipation. Yeah, honestly, the whole time, even before you, because we know from the episodes before that something fucking happens. It happens in the mall. We know the biting happens in the mall. This really got me. I was very stressed. I had my blanket over my head from the midpoint.
I was watching like through, squinting my eyes the whole time, and fingers directry over the ear
Yes,
holes.
sir. Your TV experts are watching this barely. We're like, we are like trying not to watch it.
I'm sorry. I think that's the test of a human being. If you're
I
like,
agree. We're too empathetic.
eyballs fully open, just
you're
looking
waiting.
at the wounds and
you want to see the horrors.
dry eyes wide open, taking in every sound the show makes.
Oh my.
So before we get into it, we do have a bit of business. We have a problem.
What is our problem?
With the schedule.
Our schedule. Oh, right. I know this.
We've talked about what we wanted to do for our next shows, and we were planning on doing Yellow Jackets.
Right.
However, we knew Succession was coming in the spring. It turns out they're counting the spring as late March. I don't know if that's in the spring. Is it? It might be.
Maybe. I think it's, spring is April.
It's
to me,
bullshit. That's what I'll say.
We really were thinking it was going to be May. I really was thinking about May.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to decide Yellow Jackets versus Succession. Mm-hmm. I don't know how to determine this. Maybe I'll put a poll on our Instagram.
Yeah, let's put a poll. Let's do a poll. Follow us at HBO Lax Pod and let us know. And we are a democracy. So we will go with whatever the Electoral College decides.
Probably.
So we will use an outdated system that should be gone. We're a great democracy. Yeah. I think a poll makes sense. Yeah, let us know. I mean, I'm curious to see what people think.
Yellow Jackets is on Showtime, to be clear.
Technically not an HBO show.
Succession is on HBO.
Right, so
Max.
strictly
I was like, what is the channel? HBO Max.
When I told Chad we were thinking about Yellow Jackets, he was like, but you're HBO Lax. I was like, yes, we're HBO Lax, Chad. It's HBO-ish.
Yeah.
I was like, you don't get it.
What? Yeah, I really thought he got us.
He was like, oh, Chad. Max. I was like, no. It's
No, everything about it is
chill. Chill, Chad.
It's just us. We can't be...
Yeah.
We don't have a type A between us two.
No. If you're looking for the type A pod, type A Lax, you're going to have to go somewhere else.
There's a lot of those.
Yeah, there's a lot of those.
Because they tend to be the ones who can put together podcasts.
That's true.
Getting things done, et cetera, et cetera. Well, tune into our Instagram. We will be taking this poll. Mm-hmm. I see arguments for both.
Me too.
I love both shows. Succession, it's going to be the last season. Yellow Jackets, it will be season 2. So, sound off.
Yeah, sound off in the
comments.
The poll. In the poll. In the poll.
This episode was directed by Liza Johnson. Love to see the Elizabeths succeeding in the world. And written by Neil Druckmann.
Yeah, I was surprised. I was like, oh, because Craig has been writing a lot of these bad boys. So let's see what Neil
looks like
do.
Both of them wrote the whole season together, and it's going to be 10 episodes.
Oh, okay, cool.
By the way, the editing on the scenes from last week promos is so good.
The scenes from last week's promos.
You know how they show like
the previously
last week,
on?
this is what happened.
I skipped it. I always skip those because I'm like, I know.
Oh, you skipped it?
Yeah.
They're the editing on them is good. Maybe that's too small a detail, but no, I like them.
No, I love
it's
that.
Interesting.
I'll go back and watch. Yeah, I love.
We sweep through the snowy landscape. We see the backpacks in this abandoned building. We see the horse inside. It harumphs off some snow, and we see Ellie ripping this rag to hold onto Joel's stab wound. He's still alive.
Still alive. And sexy.
And sexy. He is screaming at Ellie to leave, go north to Tommy, and shoves Ellie off of him, doesn't want her to be risking herself for him. And she puts his coat on top of him. He looks very helpless. We just see his little head shivering.
Aww.
And she runs upstairs and grabs the door handle. And we cut to a flashback.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sound design by Katherine Dudas.
Yeah. They really should have hired me for sound design.
That would have been great here. I agree.
That would have been great. All or None by Pearl Jam plays, which I think is 80s. I'm a baby. I don't know, but I'm assuming it sounds pretty 80s. And I think we fade to Ellie running around in a gym in like a track, and she's wearing a lot of she's wearing sweatpants. She's listening to a Walkman, obsessed. We love a nostalgic queen. And also this I really loved this because I went to an all girls high school, and this brought me back. I'm like, all these girls run around looking not cute. Love it. I was like, this was my formative years.
It was very nostalgic for like middle school PE class. And except, I mean, I didn't do this in my classes, but Ellie gets into a fight with this girl who steals her headphones because she says that Ellie has a shitty attitude and makes them get more sprints. And Ellie punches the girl.
Yeah, because the girl, Bethany, mentions your friend fights. She's the one who fights, and she's not here anymore, is she? And not the right thing to say. Ellie freaks out and looks really scary. And then we cut to a really funny shot of her face upside down, which I liked. In, I guess, the principal/officer, military officer's office.
Captain Kwong.
Yes. And she turns around a picture, very notably, and of his family, which I thought was like kind of sad because she was just like, I don't know, she's like curious about families, and that made me sad. He basically doesn't know what to do with her. She has gone to the hole a couple times and it doesn't work. He's like, what's going on? Oh, and then also, I guess, when we realize in that line that Riley's gone, did you think that, I'm like, oh, interesting. I thought we were going to flash back to before Riley gets bitten. And so, and I was like, that was a cool, like, fake out.
It was a good twist.
It was a good twist. But yeah, we find out.
And also, like, something that I liked about this episode that I feel like was really fresh was that, you and I both love The Sopranos. You had a lot of dream sequences in The Sopranos, and often like, oh, this person goes into a coma, so then we see their dream sequence or their flashback, whatever. I liked that we're like, Joel is the one going in and out of consciousness. He's the one who's hurt, but we're seeing Ellie flashbacks. I thought it was interesting.
That is interesting. Oh, I love that. Yeah, she's the one that has to like reckon with something, which I love as the caretaker. Oh, interesting.
Well, there's definitely like, I think that the scene with Ellie and Riley is apparently not in the original game, but it's in some like bonus content or stuff. So I feel like they could have inserted it anywhere. And because it's here, it's like, and we already know what's going to happen. It's like, it's so stressful.
It's, oh my gosh. It is honestly the most stressful place they could put it in. They're like, okay, we're going to take a break from looking at Joel dying. We're going to like draw that out more and be like, Joel's dying. And then let's do a different sad story.
A beautiful love story that will end 100% in tragedy.
Yeah, let's break your heart again.
Give it to me. I'm here.
Give it to me. We're broken at this point. Let's just do it.
I keep watching the episodes, and Jake's like, "What did you think?" And I'm like, "I loved it. Each episode this season." I'm like, "I don't know, they're great."
And he's like, "Lizzy, you're crying."
Yeah,
you're like, "Yeah, it was great." Yeah,
yeah, I love to feel the
we
feelings.
love to feel here.
Kwong basically says to Ellie that she can either get her own keys and follow the rules, become an officer, or become a grunt and walk the wall and eat shit food and take orders from Bethany the bully. I think you should be an officer like me, and you get to be cool in the summer and hot in the winter. And I'm like, oh my god, these like basic necessities are only going to like the higher up people at Fedra, and tell Bethany where to shove it. And I was just like, this is such a weird like way to convince someone to become a cop, basically.
I know. It's very much like you have two shitty options. Yeah. I mean, it was really interesting to get a sense of what the options are, and how Ellie must be feeling. It's just like to just know that those are your only two options in life. Of course people go to the Fireflies. Like, fuck that. And they don't even know that there's a beautiful communist commune out there that they could like pet goats
No
out
one knows.
day. No one knows. I'm like, you could live like that. I know, it's really crazy that like it's so fascinating because it's like these people who are, and I mean, there are fascist regimes, in the world today, and it's so crazy. This like, it's like, don't you know you could just live better? Like, don't you know? Because it is interesting, and I have a lot of questions about like in this post-apocalyptic world. Clearly, these QZs have figured out electricity. Like, they figured out how to get back some civilization, because why wouldn't you be able to? Because everything is still like, it's not like a natural disaster wiped out everything. It's like there's still infrastructure, so you really should be able to still use, like the mall being able to have, like they should be able to use the mall.
Well, I think everything got destroyed or picked through.
Oh, and bombed.
Like
right.
I think there was like a period of chaos.
Right.
Oh,
but still, you could rebuild.
Bombs.
Yeah.
Right.
But I'm like, it's like, it's still, we still have things, and there's people.
Catherine, you could be a captain of the Fireflies.
Guys.
You're inspiring the shit out of me right now. I'll go. I'll leave with you out the window.
I love that. This is what I'm thinking. This is how I'm spiraling during these apocalypse shows. I'm like, why can't we just work together, guys?
Yeah. It's definitely making me think about my own actions a lot.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And I think that's something they focused on in the game, was very much like being a realistic apocalypse, where it's not like you find like infinite machine guns. It's like,
right.
No, we don't have any of those bullets, so why they're useless.
Oh, that's such a good point.
We cut to Ellie in her bedroom
with a lunar moon phase poster. Ellie's a witch. We always knew.
There's so much moon stuff and like astronaut space shit.
Oh, I guess she wants to be an astronaut. No, she's a witch.
Oh,
I think I'm like only witches have pay attention to the lunar cycles, and I'm like, oh right, she wants.
Aren't all astronauts witches?
That's true. That is the law.
Isn't it an overlap? Like
it's an
you
overlap.
Worship the moon.
It's a combo, like Doritos and Taco Bell tacos.
It's a combo. Honestly, if we organized our society right, the witches would be the one who were going to the moon. That
makes more sense.
Send them.
Yes, and you would and you should send women because women menstruate. And
not all these guys. Let's put our best foot forward as a species.
Let's get it together. Let's do this right this time.
We see. Oh, she also has the Mortal Kombat poster. That's definitely a theme. And creepy, the window opens. Oh, it's her friend slash roommate slash potential lover slash crush, Riley. And Ellie gets out this exposition. She thought she was dead. She's been gone 3 weeks. And Riley sees her black eye, instantly wants to fuck up Bethany.
Cute.
This is very, Real Housewives of New York.
I did not think that's what you're going to say. It's like, yeah.
Mention it all. This is a joke for one
it
person.
All relates.
Riley confesses that she joined the Fireflies and also convinces her at the same time to sneak out with her and have the best night of her life. And get the feeling that maybe this is the dynamic between these two friends, that, Riley's pushing the edge a little bit more and Ellie kind of wants it. I'll come.
Very cute. It's very cute. And yeah, very, very interesting. Ellie has Riley turn around while she changes. We're getting a sense that Ellie is not a fan of Ellie, I was surprised that Ellie was like on the officer side. It makes, just because the Ellie we know is so changed by the experience she's about to have, that I feel like know a completely not completely different, but a different Ellie that's a little more fuck
she was
everyone.
An incel.
Right. Exactly.
That's what we learned in this episode.
Yes, she was. Yeah.
By the way, this scene is also very Damon sneaking out with Rhaenyra, a Princess Jasmine story.
Oh my gosh, totally.
There's only a few stories.
It all ties back. There really is only a few.
They climb down this ladder. There's an immediate tank that goes by them, so Riley already has not thought out any part of this plan.
Oh my god, I have no faith in Riley.
No, immediately she's like, no, there's no patrol.
I'd be so mad.
Trust me. And they reference this 7-Eleven situation in which Ellie lost half an eyebrow, so it answers that question. And Ellie says, you put Carol in an infirmary, when Riley says, don't fight Brittany or Bethany. Choose what's important to fight, a.k.a. Firefly. She's drinking that Firefly Kool-Aid, thanks, Ellie. But they both agree that they hate Carol.
Mutual hate of Carol. They climb through a window. Ellie makes a joke about, is this the trick, the rusty mailboxes, or is that the thing? They have this banter that's very rom-com flirty. So I was like, it was pretty up. I feel like from the beginning it was like, there's crushes.
Tench.
There's Tench. Love Tench.
Sexual tench.
She calls them anarchists, and then Riley's like, we prefer freedom fighters. How many floors? 2, but it's more than 2. That was funny. And they see a dead guy who is
back instantly.
And they approach him like idiots. They grab the bottle of liquor from him and are like, oh, gross. And they're getting close to the dead body. I don't understand why. And then he falls through the fucking floor in a very scary moment. I did do a little yelp, and they laugh from the thrill of it. They're like, haha, we're young and we'll never die. I'm like, you idiots.
Yes, a lot of that energy coming through.
And they're
they
like,
just
oh,
chug
it's real
booze.
stuff.
LOL, that body wasn't here yesterday. I'm not going to second guess this plan.
Oh my God. I was not happy. I was not happy with these young women. They know not to mix pills and stuff. They drink it's the good stuff from the before times. And they go out on this roof. They take a swig. It's very cute. Ellie's like, oh, is that the first dead body you ever saw? And Riley's like, no, my parents.
My parents.
Yeah. Ever heard of it?
Remember?
Yeah, and they
My
drink.
core memory.
My core fucking memory. Ellie wants her gun. Her obsession with guns.
Oh, yeah.
Goes far back.
Oh, right.
And
Tracks
oh,
with
and
the
then
incel thing.
yeah, and then Ellie was like, "Oh, are you dating a Firefly guy? And that's why you're a terrorist?" And she's like, "Yeah." And it was like a very cute way to be like, "Oh, do you like someone more than me right now?" Love that. Very smooth, Ellie. Very good. That's she'll never know.
She'll never know.
And then yeah, she explains how she ended up joining the Fireflies, or she snuck out one night. This woman asked her, I guess Marlene, or maybe just a Firefly, was like, "What do you think of Fedra? And if you want to be in, you're in." And so yeah, and then Ellie's like, "Yeah, no initiations. And apparently you don't need to pass any test or anything or say an oath to be a Firefly. You can just be a Firefly."
Maybe that's why they're all dead.
Savage. Got him.
I just feel like there's so many scenes that we get to where they get to a site and there's just dead bodies everywhere.
Yes.
There's been destruction.
Yeah. Oh, and then they jump across the roofs.
Oh my God. They jump across the roofs. This jumping across the roofs, which Jake told me is called platforming.
Oh.
Which is games where you jump around on platforms like Super Mario. That's why this was my video game moment of the week.
Oh, good. Oh, I love that. I did not know that. I thought it was I was feeling during this was anger and fear because what would you ever do this, Lizzy? Would you jump from roof to roof like this if you weren't being chased?
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
No. Would you skydive?
No. Would you skydive?
No. No, I don't think so. I don't think it's for me.
Yeah, I don't. I just would. I just would like to. I want my.
I'll do the one where they blast the air from 2 feet below you,
and they call it skydiving.
Yeah.
And you're like, this is very generous to call this skydiving. Yeah, no, I like my thrills to come from like scary things like posting a video on social media you're not sure will do well. I like that kind of adrenaline is what I that's my junkie. Nothing actual life threatening.
To each their own.
To each their
I don't know.
own.
Maybe if I lived in this apocalyptic
that's
world
true.
where it's like,
You're like,
what
fuck
life
it.
am I even really gonna
Yeah.
save?
I can
Might
see
as
that, yeah.
well be risky.
I like that.
I don't know.
No,
But
I
then
get
again,
that.
it's like, if my crush asked me to do this,
Oh, we forgot.
100%.
Lizzy, oh, you're right. Just kidding. I absolutely. Oh wait, my crush is asking me.
wait,
I'm
yeah.
already doing it. Yeah.
I'm already. How high?
I'm already 3
How
roofs
far
over.
apart?
Yeah. It's like I get laid afterwards. Okay, yeah.
Well, after they platform, Ellie shows like, "Oh look, Fedra put up these lights," and they're like, "Yeah, because there's more people, but they're starving the population." And Ellie's like, "Well, maybe you shouldn't have blown up this food storage thing." And there's references of bombs, and Riley's like, "We don't blow up civilians." And then they do this horrible idea. They go into this mall that's known for being full of infected.
Yeah. This was, God, it was just really hard when she said, I mean, we knew what this was going to be, but when she said mall, it's just so hard to just know how this ends. It was just really, but it was good. Yeah, the
So
tension was good.
stressful.
It was very stressful, but it was hard. And then
It's like you only see like 2 real like violent moments or like even scary moments, but the whole thing is so
time.
scary.
No, yeah, they did what they intended to do, and I was very uncomfortable most of the time, waiting for. I thought the carousel. I thought for sure when the carousel stopped, it was. Anyway, we'll get to it.
Oh,
I was like,
yeah, right?
I was like, it's gonna happen, and anyway, Riley bosses Ellie around, which I thought was very cute and very much like, and Ellie's like a tough girl, but is like, okay, I'll do whatever you say, Riley. Simps. Ellie is a Riley simp immediately, and it's like, oh no, I won't. Okay, I will. You asked me in a harsher tone, I will. She goes more into the mall, and then Riley does a cute little surprise and like lights up everything. It's a very cinematic moment of the mall like lighting up one at a time, and it's a beautiful shot. Honestly, this was my favorite shot of the episode. Was Ellie standing
when they light up the mall. Yeah,
so beautiful.
It was beautiful.
This whole, I mean, we'll talk about it. Yeah.
Also reminiscent of a very common bachelor type date where they light up an amusement park.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's
but
cute.
It's like she basically has planned out 4 wonders of the mall. She's going to show Ellie. She shows her through. They keep walking through. There's some empty stores, and Riley explains they were looting until the military shut it down. So
wait, before that, Ellie. Oh, sorry. Before that, Ellie goes, is this before or after the escalator moment? I just wanted to say how cute the escalator moment was when she goes down it for the first time.
Shit, I skipped the escalator.
Oh my God,
Sorry.
It was so, oh no, you're good.
That was amazing.
So amazing. And also, yeah, I just loved that this episode was full of like just things that we take for granted. I mean, that's like a theme and I guess a lot of apocalyptic thing and a lot of the episodes, but it's like we take all and like just like a lit up, like a beautiful, like a mall is a wonder. Like and we have them all around us and it's amazing.
We can go to the mall tomorrow.
We can go to the Grove. Well,
yes. In fact, if anyone wants to see me, I'll be at the Grove on Wednesday signing How to Win the Bachelor books.
And we can't go in the Grove before that day, though, because the ban breaks on that day.
Yeah, it's the year anniversary of us being banned from the Grove.
The most epic fucking book signing of all time in history. No one will ever.
But I'm gonna find some escalators there, and I'm gonna love them.
Right up and down was very cute. But yes, then Riley explains, they walk through these stores. Riley explains why some are empty and why some aren't. I guess, when shit went down, people needed sneakers. That's a good point. Yeah, that makes sense. And then they stop in front of Victoria's Secret and look at a thong, and it's very like, and they're like, oh, why would people do this? And she's like, I know why. And then Riley's like, laughs and is like, I was just imagining you in it, and laughs. And I'm like, okay, if I'm Ellie, this makes sense where 14-year-old girls like trying, they're exploring their sexuality and razzing. But I'm like, if my boy crush said that to me, I would be like, fuck you. I would be very upset. I'm like, why are you laughing? Yeah. But this is, I think this is like a cute, because
I was also very anti-thong when I was in middle school. I thought it was, very too sultry.
Yes.
I was very chaste.
No.
Ellie kind of checks herself out in the reflection. You could tell she's kind of nervous. Riley asks her to close her eyes, and she takes her to this carousel, and she turns it on. It makes music. It is so loud. I get stressed. I get really stressed. And Ellie is loving the carousel. She's wandering through it. And I kind of thought this was going to be my horniest moment, just them kind of like checking each other out on the carousel.
It was
joking
a lot
about being
of
drunk.
Yes, this episode did a very good job, and the actresses too, and I'm sure the actors too, and I'm sure they and the writing, like upping the tension, like really starts. Every step is like a half step, and it's spaced out enough that when there is that kiss, and it's like very so believable and like so organic. And I really the tension in this and the directing, I really like the directing on the carousel shot, because they like linger on Ellie for a long time just like looking at Riley, and it was very, very sweet. It was so good, and they're so happy.
Carousel then stops,
and I shit my pants. I'm like, great, and I put the blanket immediately over my head like a bird in a cage.
I'm like, we're gonna just guess what happened the rest of this episode.
Yeah. And then I shut it off.
They talk about whether the Fireflies can actually liberate the QZ. Riley says, I'm turning 17. Kwong gave me this sewage detail. I'll be standing guard while people shovel shit. And Ellie's like, why didn't you tell me any of this? Riley says she panicked and ran. And that Ellie is the one thing she missed from that fucking place, if that makes a difference. And it does, because Ellie smiles.
It's very cute. And it's interesting. Yeah, so this is our explanation, the real explanation of why Riley left, and that she just saw a life that was, or she got confirmation that her life was about to be really bleak. And she took, and you really can't blame her. I mean, when she says this, I'm like, yeah, I mean, what are you going to do? Like, you got to go join the Fireflies. Like,
live in the mall.
Live in the mall.
Maybe, search it.
Yeah.
Actually see it off.
Maybe actually.
Would have been a good idea.
Do a little runaround and make sure
to leave the
everyone's a
big hole open.
human.
Cover it.
Oh my God.
Anyway, 2 wonders down, 3 more to go, says Riley. And Ellie says, I don't know how to get better than being on a magic horse with a million lights. Oh, God.
I know.
And they go into the photo booth.
She has $5? I'm sorry, $5 seems like a lot for 2003 for a photo booth. Am I crazy? I feel like $5 is like now it would be. Anyway, pull it together, set
Maybe
designer.
This was an elite mall.
I know.
I'm like, of Boston, some fancy mall in Boston.
So I was like, where did she get $5? It was very interesting. Oh, she probably, because there was money in the arcade. Just kidding. And it was, yes, this whole date thing. Oh, also that
Also,
line
the
Ellie
photo
says,
comes out immediately. Not realistic.
No, call bullshit. And the film is like, I guess, faded because it's been so many years. I'm assuming, unless it's like a Polaroid and it takes a longer time. I don't know. But also very cute that Ellie was like, "You planned this day for me in the beginning," and I'm like, yeah, this was very much like a very cute date that Riley was so excited, and also another sweet reminder that joy needs to be shared. Like finding something as cool as the mall, it's like the real joy would be showing your friend or like your crush, like, look at this, instead of just enjoying it yourself, which is very sweet. Oh yeah, they have very cute little poses. I'm scared this whole scene. I'm not enjoying really this scene because I'm just like, what's gonna happen? It's gonna pop out.
It.
Yeah.
How can you enjoy it? It's gonna end.
It's all gonna end. How can you enjoy any of it?
Tell me how to enjoy it, for real. Anyway, they go to this arcade and they play Daytona USA, and I was like, oh, Ellie's never even been in a real car. Yeah. And I was flashing back to like when she was in the car with Joel.
Yeah.
And Riley opens up the coin machine that she spent hours breaking into. And then they play Mortal Kombat 2, which she had the poster of. It was, I think, in the game at the gas station with Joel. And they do the vomiting out of the bones, which was referenced earlier this season. Melina, whatever. And Riley's played it a few times. So, and Ellie's like,
so many
you don't
coins.
wait to do everything with me.
Oh, flirty.
Tench.
French.
I said tench.
Oh, just kidding. I thought you were being like French. I'm like, yeah, French. Okay. So then we, track away from this shot into an American Girl doll store. How dare they? How dare they put this in such a... They did that on purpose. They did that to really hurt me. And we see an infected. I was like, that is a sacred place. We see an infected that it looks like the one that Tess and Joel, like, similar to the one that Tess and Joel saw, but it looked still kind of human-like. I guess it was not activated. It was like I guess it's just been deactivated for a long time, and their screams,
Or it's like growing out of the wall and like it's about to wake up or whatever.
Yeah, maybe it was just like a timing thing. Maybe it like awoken it, but it's the worst.
It's moving.
It's moving.
And if we weren't enjoying it, if we were enjoying it at all, we no longer are.
For any of you pure souls who could live in the moment, it's gone now.
Yeah, I bet you thought this part was real whimsical when Ellie learns how to play the game better and wins.
No, and they're like cute and laughing and they almost kiss. And this was very interesting because I felt like Ellie thought they were gonna kiss, and like Ellie was disappointed that Riley turned away, and then Ellie was like, "I gotta go home," which I very relate to, where I'm like, I get the slightest sense my crush is like, "I don't like you." I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna leave. I gotta go."
Yeah.
I'm like,
"Oh, I'm pied off."
Yeah, exactly. Ellie's like, "I can't get in trouble again," and Riley's like, "We still have another wonder. Is it a new shirt? Blah blah blah. Water pistol, which is cute." They go to this like kitchen area, and it's where Riley's been staying, and shows her the volume two of the pun book. And also when they were doing these puns, I was like, oh my God, I also used to be obsessed with puns when I was 14 and 15, so much so that my friends like knew that about me, and because they really got me back then. They really tickled my funny G-spot is what I call it.
Oh my God.
This is something only it's whenever something like really makes you laugh, I call it your funny G-spot. It's like your funny bone, but your G-spot.
I call it pissing my pants, but yeah.
Because like there's certain things that just hit, right? Okay.
Yeah. No, I understand.
Yeah, anyway. I guess funny bone makes more sense. But
I'm starting to like dad jokes more now though,
because we're getting older.
Why? Yeah, I'm only in my mid-30s.
We're realizing it's the simple things in life, you know.
Yeah,
it's the simple.
Well, things. they do puns back and forth and laugh. Oh, they both don't know what screenshots are, and then Ellie sees something. Cute. Pulls up a blanket. There's explosive devices or bombs.
Yeah, I was confused about this until I'm assuming it's bombs, and I'm like, stop touching the bombs. Stop.
All of Ellie's instincts don't
incorrect.
Make sense. Put your face closer to every dead body.
Yeah. Pick up the bomb and start waving it around, and it's like, what is this? It's like, okay, put it down,
Ellie. She's pissed. She's like, you're gonna use them near me.
Yeah.
And Riley's like, I would never. And Ellie's like, I guess we'll find out, and runs off. She's like, none of this was even about me. And Riley says, stop, I'm leaving. They're sending me to Atlanta. I tried to get them to take you also, but tonight's my last night in Boston, and Marlene said no.
She's like, who's Marlene? And it's like, doesn't matter. I'm like, it does matter. It will matter soon, and we know it. And then they get closer, and she's like, why did you bring me here? And she was like, I wanted to see you. And Ellie says, and I wanted to say goodbye. And we get these really beautiful close-ups where the face is more on like towards the left side of the screen, which I like, and then Ellie's right side. And this isn't easy, Ellie. It actually is. You just did it, Ellie's. It's so sad. And then Ellie's like, goodbye. And she walks off like she walked off with Joel earlier. And and sweet Riley's sweet little face is so sad. And Ellie walks back to the mall. And again, we're like, okay, what's gonna happen? She's walking more. And not Joel.
She's stomping mad past the Victoria's Secret. And I thought of something here. I was like, this is the alternate timeline. And it's like, there was no Me Too. There was no Trump.
This was the alternate. Yes. Oh, interesting.
There was no Prop 8, right? When was that?
Oh, right. That was 2000. Oh, I actually don't know. Again, I'm too young. Uh,
Oh, God.
Riley decides. But yeah, you're right. I mean, this is
2008 California
okay.
proposition.
I wanted to say 2008, but I was like, is it just because it's Prop 8? Am I saying that anyway? Yeah. I mean, this is. Yeah, it's interesting because I wonder what the ideological structure is of the QZs. Like, is it religious? It doesn't seem like it's like religious based. I'm like, I wonder how homosexuality is dealt with or seen. Is it like ostracized? Is it still ostracized? It's interesting. But Ellie decides to turn back. She's like, oh, I gotta turn back because we also know she's gonna definitely turn back with Joel later. And she hears a scream and starts running. Lizzy just shakes her head at me.
It's not okay.
It's not okay. It was not okay. Again, really good. Another good fake out. And she runs into a Halloween store, and it's like a thing from like a fucking monster robot thing screaming. And this is the last wonder, the fifth wonder. And Riley thought she would really like it. She would like this one best. And Ellie takes back the book and it's like, okay, fine, I'll accept your gift now. And yeah, they say Ellie's just like trying to understand it all, like, you know, you give me this amazing fucking night, you're I think you're dead, and then you give me this night and now you're leaving again, like, this is just a lot. And poor little Ellie, it's like you're just young kids living, like, you barely can process. I can barely process my emotions, and you're like a 14-year-old brain in an apocalypse. Like, I really felt for them in this scene.
Yeah.
And Riley's being
Riley basically says that the Fireflies feel like family again,
yeah.
and she wants to have a family again. They chose me. I matter to them. And Ellie's like, you mattered to me first. And she's like, I want to punch you so bad. Riley says, if it makes you hate me less. Ellie says, you're my best friend and I'll miss you. Riley's like, the night's not over. One last thing. And she gives them this wolf mask and this like clown mask, and they dance around to this music.
I didn't like the mask thing. This was, again, I was so nervous this whole time. I didn't like the mask thing. The blanket was
I
up.
was like, you're gonna get bit while you can't even see the
exactly.
monster. Something horrible.
Oh my god. Oh, just torture. Yeah, they're dancing.
Riley makes her dance on the counter, and Ellie takes off her mask and she says, don't go. And then Riley says, okay. And Ellie kisses Riley. And this was my horniest moment of the week.
Oh, this was also my horniest moment of the week, but it was also my sweetest moment of the week. Like Ellie's look on her face,
she's like,
the look
I'm
on her
sorry,
face,
and Riley's like, for what?
And then they laugh. It was very cute. And she's like, what do we do now? And Riley's like, we're gonna figure it out. And I was like, oh, are we gonna experiment? And I'm like, oh, damn it, no. There's a fucking monster in the stupid mall. And I wonder if Riley immediately knew. So when Riley took her gun out, I was like, good, they're gonna be okay. But I guess the guns really don't.
She shoots at a bunch.
Yeah, it really did not slow it down. You gotta get the brain. I guess, yeah. She falls down and like kind of becomes unconscious. Like her eyes are closed. I was really confused because I was like, I think
she was like getting knocked out.
I guess she was knocked out, and then the thing goes on top of Ellie and she stabs it in its side. It is crazy. The way these things move, the way he just like tackles her, it's like so fast and the worst. And she's like, get off of me, get the fuck off of me. And then Riley wakes up again and gets him with the thing, and they save each other, and then Ellie puts her knife in its brain. And at first Ellie's like, oh my god, that's crazy. And then, oh my god, this was rough. This was really rough. when she looks
Horrible.
down, and it was horrible. Like her reaction to this was, oh my god, heartbreaking, because it's like and then Riley crying and showing her bite was just, oh my god, it's just the grief and the shock and the reckoning of like, oh my god, yeah, we're dead, we're done. It's so existent for like 14-year-old. It's just, this was so horrible. And then we cut to Joel. We cut away from this awful scene. We cut to Joel, and we see Ellie, I guess, coming out of the flashback, and starts running and is like gonna find something.
Then we cut back to her destroying shelves in the Halloween store while Riley's crying on the floor.
When she was destroyed, it was so visceral, like this grief that she was experiencing, like of her own, like it was so, this really shook me. And then, Riley just is catatonic. And Ellie sits down next to her and is like, what are we going to do? And Riley's like, okay, well, there's two options. We either, one, quick and painless, but I don't want to do that. Or two, one is the easy way out. One, we just keep going. And Ellie's like, what are you talking about? Like, where it's over. And this was an interesting argument from Riley, because I was like, how logistically does this work? I really wanted to know.
Yeah, she's like, well, everyone's gonna die, but
some of us get there faster than others.
Let's use all the time we have left. Let's be all poetic and shit and lose our minds together. And Ellie's like, option 3, and Riley says, I'm sorry, and they cry, and I cried. I couldn't handle this.
That's so sad.
We cut back to Ellie searching the drawer. She finds a string and needle, and then she holds Joel's hand in this very tender moment, and like, he's relieved that she didn't leave. And then
also, I'm sorry. Sorry, go ahead.
They uncover this wound. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And they keep showing it.
I was like, and what else, Lizzy? And they keep showing it.
And it's on the screen for a long time. Then she puts the needle in the skin. They keep showing it.
All right, I'm not a doctor.
This was my goriest moment of the week.
This was also my goriest moment of the week. But I'm not a doctor, but I'm sorry. I feel like sewing it up is not the problem. I think the problem is internal. I don't think it's not like it's gushing out blood, right? Like, I don't think the sewing is going to do anything.
Is a problem. He is bleeding out, I think.
Oh, so it stops him from bleeding.
So I think you just keep.
But wouldn't you? I feel like it's an internal organ problem, but maybe not. Let's ask Erica.
What makes you think it's an internal organ problem?
Because Katherine, when it's a stab, don't you say it in a tone that makes you think I would?
A stab? What goes? What?
Because it's like, what is the? Okay, it's not like, because it must hit organs, right? Because that's what's in your stomach. So why would sewing up the skin?
I don't know. Maybe it hit between.
Oh, I see. It could have hit between. I also think she needs to disinfect it, but I guess there isn't a disinfect. I don't know. I watched a lot of Grey's Anatomy, and this felt like there was.
Okay, what would you do? What would you do with that wound? What would you say is the best thing to do?
Get alcohol. Get alcohol or any sort of alcohol. Pour it in.
Pour it in
to disinfect it. Yeah. Yes, to disinfect it. Doctors, sound off in the comments. And then I would sew it up. I just don't think you can sew it up without cleaning it out with alcohol. So this was my not medically correct from Dr. Katherine moment of the week. Oh wait, can I also say that this was almost when when the needle went in the wound and Joel gasped. I was like, this was almost my horniest moment. You knew what I was gonna say before I said it. I like how you knew where I was going with that.
There's definitely been some There have been some where I'm like, I can't actually put that as mine, but that weirdly was.
I was like, we gotta give it to the cute kiss, but that was pretty horny. Oh, it's so funny.
When he's shivering and you can just see his little head and he looks like he's a ghost.
It's like, that really gets me going.
I'll heal you.
Oh my god. Anyway, so she
No,
sews
I don't
up.
know. I know you're supposed to like tie up wounds.
No,
but
yeah.
I don't know the next step.
Right.
No.
Um,
Well, if we get information that can help our listeners, maybe we'll
yes, prevent
post
this. Yeah, post a tutorial.
the PSA.
Yeah. But yeah, that was episode 7.
Antibiotics, maybe I would try to find some of that. Even.
Yes. Yeah.
I wouldn't put them in the hole. I would probably put them in his mouth.
Oh. Interesting. That make okay.
A pill?
Oh, a pill. Yeah. Antibiotics. Okay, yeah. It's biotics. It's anti.
I would probably pour the alcohol in both holes.
Yeah. And his butthole too, just
All
to be
over.
safe. Yeah.
I would pour the alcohol all over myself. Kind of rub around.
Change into a wet t-shirt.
Dad, is this helping?
Oh my god.
Anyway, that's our episode.
That's our
we
episode.
End on Ellie's frantic face.
I was really upset that we weren't going to see. I really wanted to know how. I mean, I guess I'm glad we didn't have to see Riley turn into a monster, but I just wanted to see what happened there. Or like how.
Well, do you think it's over? Do you think we're going to see them go crazy together? Or is that just too sad and they're just not going to. I mean, just. Yeah, exactly. Is it just going to be Ellie watching Riley turn? And then is it Ellie has to then stab Riley? Like, is that... And, like, did they have sex before they turned? Right. Yeah. They had her... Okay, so they said it was like Ellie was calling Marlene a terrorist, and Marlene was like, would you call Riley that? Right. Well, reminder, vote in our Instagram poll. I'll put that out tomorrow. And we'll be back next week for the next episode. Episode 8. Oh, cute. It's very good, and you might cry also. I did. We found our people. Stay horny. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Look for the light.